Are you interested in possibilities beyond anything you've ever considered? Join me, John Ashford, alias Akintola, each week where I show up unapologetically me as a possibility seeker, an explorer of the universe, conversationalist, and a storyteller. Having worked with families, communities, and systems for over 30 years, I desire to explore with you topics beyond current realities and create something greater than the world as we know it today. Together, we can inspire, teach, and share with each other our real and raw ideas to change the world to the place we know it can be. Join me for some fun as we get real, funky, raw, vulnerable, outrageous, and inspired. Peace, John.
Good morning, good afternoon, good day, good whatever you are. Hopefully life is shining its light upon you, or it's darkness, whatever you desire. How the fuck y'all doing? This is being John Ashford Podcast. Thank you for hanging out with me. Today, a lot has occurred in my world. A lot has occurred on the planet. And I decided that I did a class this morning I do a membership class for my website. And I decided to continue the discussion on my podcast. And today's title was Staying Present During Chaotic Times, which is a practice of letting go. And I wanted to do it because so many things have showed up in my world that the election in the United States, more magic showing up, remote viewing is increasing my world. And so I just wanted to talk about those things and what other things have changed in my life in this last year. So yeah, change is everywhere. It's happening. And so I was going to talk about that today. One of the things that I want to say for any of you guys who listen to this is opportunity time to create what you want to create. It's very uncomfortable in the universe right now. It's very uncomfortable. Like, relationships are struggling that I know people are having. Jobs are questionable. People exhausted. I mean, I can tell you how many times people told me, man, I'm exhausted as hell. I'm sleeping. I don't get enough rest. It's because things have changed and the chaos is at an all-time high. Now, chaos is not necessarily a bad thing. Okay? Out of chaos comes new creations. When storms are chaotic, planet looks devastated, but you come back 10 years later and it looks like something anew. So what if you could actually get into the space of actually letting go of chaos being a negative thing? How's chaos a contribution? What chaos could you have in your world that if you had more chaos in your world, your shit would be different? I'm just saying. Let go of actually having to have things be in order. So today, it's just like I said, the chaotic times, staying present. How do you stay present? Two things fuck up you being present. Beyonds, and I'm going to take this from Access Conscious. The beyond is you get this deal in the mail. You get this bill in the mail, you look at it, you see the price, you're like, what the hell? How am I going to pay for this? That's a beyond. It actually takes you out of being present with what's the other choices. Can I call the company? Can I borrow some money? Will I get some money? Can I ask the universe to give me some money so it can be paid for? That's the type of shit that takes you out of being present. Fear will fuck you up. It will actually take you out of being present. It's like you can't think, you can't choose. You just stay stuck in the moment. I've done that a bunch of times. I did that a lot of times when it's time to pay certain bills. It was my beyonds. I even know what it is, but I get in this place and I just start to spiral down, 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 down. Stop. That's the best thing I can tell you. Stop that shit. Just take a couple of seconds and breathe. One of the things that, like I said, I'm jumping all over today. So this probably a little bit later talking about breathing exercises. When we stop breathing, fear and doubt take over. So the brain requires oxygen. Take a deep breath when you get something that's out of pocket and breathe. Let's go back to where I'm going to start. So I woke up the day after the election here in the United States, and it was funny because I predicted that Trump was going to win early on, like in January, February. I said some friends at work, oh, I remember telling this coworker, and she was like, John, how'd you know this? The reason he said, how'd you know this? Part of it is that I didn't realize how intuitive I was, But at the same time, you don't have to just be intuitive to look at what's going on. And I'm going to say some shit now. I don't care. I hope it doesn't offend you guys, but this is my fucking podcast. If you don't like it, check this out. The abortion issue, here's how I stand. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not down with telling women what they have to do with their body. If you ask me, I disagree with it. But if you ask me, what do I think my daughter or some other woman should be able to, I think it's their choice. So what I realized, I was talking to some other people and they started looking at this too. This is a political white agenda, and people got to start looking at shit, calling it what it is. Okay. I'm not trying to be, I'm not race. People know me. If you think I am, fuck you. I'm not. I know that when I go to Winco, I notice something immediately. I've gone to 3 different Wincos and I've watched that shit, and I've mentioned this to my wife before. You walk around the store with people with groceries. You look at the Latina sister, she got 3, 4 kids. You look at African-American woman, she has 2, 3 kids. You look at my European brothers and sisters, they got 1 kid. You start going down the street of my block, you look how many kids they have. In my job, I look at my coworkers. I look at how many kids they have compared to the people who work with color. At least all economics, they're the same economic groups too. There's a zero, and then I found out by doing a little research. I use the internet just for entertaining, but research. There's a 0 growth rate for my European American brothers and sisters. So if you're afraid or you live in that fear, like I talked about before, it's going to create more chaos because you think these people might do something to you. So what you do is you create this crazy ass event and you say abortion is this, the people. And so all of a sudden, look at those states. They're trying to actually catch up their numbers. It's not, they don't give a damn. Here's the piece. I'm not stupid. I'm very conscious. I don't play that bullshit about not seeing colors. I see the colors of the motherfucking rainbow. Okay. I told somebody in my group earlier, when I get a salad to me has carrots, radishes, cucumbers, olives, multiple types of olives, tomatoes, avocado. I don't like just regular lettuce salad. I like the colors of the rainbow. And so when I start hearing motherfuckers say shit about not being able to see color and it doesn't matter, you got some fear going on. You got some fear factor bullshit going on. Because if you see different flowers, if you see different guns, if you like guns, you have a bunch of different guns. It's just a fucking gun, right? But they have different appealing things, certain things have gun appeal. They do different things, right? Some automatic, some are revolvers, right? So I'm saying this because part of some of this stuff that's happening is smoke and mirrors. And we have to start learning how to be present with all of this going on. I'm going to say this so people know. I'm not Democrat or Republican. Now, I know some people in my family might see this, oh, this nigga voted for Trump. No, I didn't. Okay. Here's one of the reasons I did not vote for Trump. So people say, oh, he lies. All of them motherfuckers in Washington, D.C. will lie. All of them. Okay. None of them have my best interest in hand. None of them the same economic situation I'm in. They don't represent me. I don't know who the fuck they represent. I know who they represent, the 1%ers. But yet they'll try to spill and turn shit so that you're going to do separation. So I'm not going to dislike somebody because they're Republican. I'm not going to dislike somebody because they voted a certain way. I'm not doing that. Then mention trying to do separation. And I told a friend of mine that I do medic with, I'm not buying into that shit no more. It's time to do something different. Start to ask questions. Do I feel like Trump? Hell to the no. A reason, like I said, I didn't vote for Trump because Trump has not said anything about those white nationalists who don't want me on the planet. So I can't vote with somebody who's siding with that. Dr. King said this best. He's not upset with the Klansmen and the people hanging people, but the people who stood by and did nothing and said nothing while it was happening. And if Trump's the leader and he doesn't say anything, hey, the United States fucked up, but this is fucked up too, then me and you got questions. Now, but the United States has been like this. When somebody comes to me and they say, oh, Trump has this many felonies, he had this, I'm just kind of curious because when I was in university, the history of people who came to the United States, they say they were looking for freedoms. A lot of motherfuckers was being chased out of where they were. Australia and the United States, a lot of motherfuckers got sent there because from Europe, because they were undesirables. Now, I'm not saying undesirable totally. What I'm saying is that if you got chased out of someplace else, they didn't want you there, and you created total chaos and mayhem when you get to the new place, well, you shouldn't be shocked 500 years later, 600 years later, that the same type of government is being ran, because that's the origins of where these people came from. And I'm not saying this is the United States is the only country like that. So people say, are you saying this one? No, motherfucker. Don't only me. If you want to have a debate with me or a conversation, we can have that. But I'm actually not doing separation. I'm not going to talk to somebody about right or wrong, because it's neither right or wrong. And I live in a universe that there's no right and wrong. It is. I remember when I took metaphysics at Rockhurst, the first thing they told us God is. And I was like, I wrestled with that for a little bit. I said, man, it makes sense. I can even jump off of some other deep ass shit for you right now if you want to look at it. If God is, and we're human beings, and is come from the gerund being, that means we God. That's another conversation. Yes, I do look like Santa Claus, but that's with a tan. Anyway, the chocolate Santa Claus. What I'm saying, I'm trying to make light of this. What does it take for you to get out of the way and stop playing into this reality? No matter what you look like, where you come from. The guy asked me if I believed in God. I say, I believe in God, but I don't believe in the standard way of God that this reality has typed into God. Like God being this white dude with a beard and floating on some clouds and shit. That doesn't work for me. And even the stories don't make sense. You know, even the whole aspect of looking at the energy of the Christ, that's another conversation too. But I say all of this because what's going on right now is that we need to find a way that we can be with each other. We need to figure out how to agree to disagree and not allow a third party, being the systems that run this place, to separate you because of their rhetoric. It always cracks me up. It's Sunday right now. It's 10 o'clock in Camas, Washington, and football is being played on TV in the other room. And how many people who don't like people that look like me will spend their entire weekend watching these cats run up and down the field? It's like, or the issue with it is we don't want people around. I dare people to go look and see why they actually got rid of the Negro Baseball League and what was going on back there. Go back and look and see. And I say this and this is not to try to be like one up somebody. It's because the history of the United States don't ever want to see certain people be alone because they're afraid. Now, why am I saying this in consciousness? Because everybody that's been created has something to offer the planet. Every motherfucker. If you don't think so, then you're not actually asking enough questions. And if I've offended somebody with something to say, fuck it, hit me up. You go to my website, call me, hit me on Instagram, Facebook, whatever the fuck you want. I'm not a person that will run from anything, but I'm not a person I'm unwilling to allow things to be status quo right now with separation. Don't call me if you don't like me because what I look like, don't even waste your time. Because my intuition to tell me that. I believe we have more in common than what we had fucking imagined, but we allow other entities to get in the way of that. Y'all feel me? So what does it take to be present in these chaotic times? Asking questions, not being fear directed, not allowing doubt to take over your capacity of who you are. This is for all people, Black, white, Asian, Latino, African, Canadian, South American, all the people on the planet, Indian. This is a time of people this opportune time for people to come together. I am somewhat glad that this is happening because in my belief system, it's going to force a lot of pain, but it's also going to force truth to emerge. See, that's all I'm looking for. Now, here's the piece. There are some things that I agree with by the Republican Party about if they do what they say they're going to do, I'm going to wait and see. Or do they get in bed and actually be like, nah, like all the other politicians? They say they speak a tough game. There's a couple things that I'm concerned about. The environment. But I don't argue people about that. People say environment, global warming. The warm planting and warm, man, it was the wrong word the first time. They should have been used to describe something different. But the planet is changing. Keep fucking around, you'll find out. But don't allow that to be the factor of making you change. Ask questions. Ask how you contribute to this reality. What would make it greater? What else do I have that I want to share with you? I'm going to do this more often. I hope this is not too tough or too rough for y'all. Time. Here's another element that I use, staying present, letting go of all of the distractors implants that I have. When my distracting implants, I've taken from Access Conscious, but other distractions is I used to meditate and I could go to meditation like that. I went home recently. I spent some time with my dad who's having a hard time on planet Earth. I did more meditation than I have done in a long time. And I did 7 days while I was there. Every day I did meditation. And what happened is I kickstarted my system back into getting meditation daily. And more awareness is showing up. What I realized, and I've let go of some of this cell time, my cell phone, I let go of that cell time. And at 9:30, I'm going to bed every day. And I go to bed so I can go do meditation. And the awareness that shows up by just doing something I might share that at a later date about how I do my meditation. But I say all of this because there are ways around this chaotic time. And you don't have to buy the story of Chicken Little where the sky's falling, the sky's falling. It's not going to fall like that. There are going to be some things that we're going to see change that need to happen. I was just kind of amazed, some of my people that I know that voted for Trump and they really believe in some of this other rhetoric of it. And I was just like, wow. And I was just like, I wonder why people feel that way. Now, let me give you the other piece. Democrats ain't shit either. So I've been ragging on Trump. They ain't shit either. Chickens came home to roost. Malcolm told him that it was in 68 or 65 when he was murdered. And he was right. Chickens came home to roost. Democrats fucked up. And they take Vice President Harris and try to make her be the Jesus figure. Wasn't gonna happen. This is a historical accumulation of bullshit that made this happen like this. And I don't feel sorry for him. I told my dad that. Like, well, why do you think, if he lies all the time? See, the difference with it is that I'm willing to see anybody lie. I'm not going to be bamboozled, but just because you got a D on your chest, you talking to me that you don't lie. Bitch, you lie just like everybody else. I lie, you lie, the whole world lie. But at some point, you have to call somebody on their lies. And you saw it. That first Tuesday of the month, I guess it's the first Tuesday of the month, you saw you got called out on your bullshit. In Access Conscious, they have this statement, this clearing that they use, and I love it. And I'll share this with my brothers Thursday. Everything is the opposite of what it appears to be, and nothing's the opposite of what it appears to be. Everything is the opposite of what it appears to be, and nothing's the opposite of what it appears to be. And I think I'm going to leave it at that, and let's see how things unfold. Until next time, peace. Appreciate you hanging out with me. I'll be back more often. beingjohnashford.com is my website. And hope to, and I'm offering that because if you hear this and you have a question, don't hit me up like in public. I'm not going to do that. If you want to do a dialogue, I'm open to having a dialogue. Just hit me up. Peace.